Chosen ones, if this message has reached you today, it's no coincidence. God Himself has summoned you to this sacred moment, a divine battlefield where His voice thunders over your spirit. This isn't just a video or a fleeting word. It's a holy call to arms, a heavenly decree with your name etched in the armor of God. The King of Kings is speaking directly to your soul, commanding you to rise and defeat the enemy's plans with the authority of Jesus Christ. Don't scroll past. Don't let fear or doubt steal this divine encounter. God is equipping you with a covenant of victory, a promise of triumph that will crush Satan's schemes and lead you into a life of power and purpose. This is your divine now, your moment to say yes to the authority Christ has given you. Hesitate, and you risk letting the enemy's lies linger. Delay, and you may miss the victory God has already won for you. The heavens are rallying, the Spirit is empowering, and this window of divine strength won't wait. God is declaring, I've chosen you to defeat the enemy. I've armed you with my power, but you must stand now. Pause, breathe, and let this truth ignite your soul. Victory is yours today if you rise against the enemy's plans. You've faced the enemy's attacks for too long, the lies that whisper you're not enough, the fears that chain your dreams, the obstacles that block your path. You've battled discouragement in the quiet of your heart, wrestled with doubts in the dark, and wondered if the enemy's schemes would ever cease. God sees every tear you've shed under attack, every prayer you've cried in desperation, every moment you felt overwhelmed by the enemy's lies. He's not ignoring your battle. He's declaring it's won. Heaven has issued a divine verdict with your name on it. The enemy's plans are defeated. This isn't just a promise. It's a covenant, sealed by the blood of Jesus and signed with the authority of God. You're not begging for victory. You're stepping into triumph. The chains of fear, spiritual, emotional, and mental, are breaking now. God doesn't just weaken the enemy. He destroys his works. What once felt like an unending war is now becoming a testimony of divine victory. Every lie that held you back, every attack that stole your peace, every scheme that delayed you, God is overturning them with his power. Let's be real. You've faced moments where the enemy's voice seemed louder than God's. You've heard lies that you're unworthy, felt the weight of failure, and wondered if Satan's schemes would outlast your faith. You've fought through seasons of confusion, stood against attacks alone, and carried burdens that tried to crush your spirit. But here's the divine truth God is unveiling. The enemy's plans are not your destiny. They're your stepping stones to victory. The world calls defeat final. God calls it a setup for triumph. The enemy's attacks weren't meant to destroy you. They were meant to reveal God's strength in you. Every lie you believed, every fear you faced, every obstacle you encountered, it wasn't the end. It was training for battle. God says, you've stood firm in the fight, so I'm arming you with victory. A flood of power, courage, and divine authority is surging through you. This isn't just about surviving attacks. It's about defeating them. Your faith, your heart, your purpose armed with God's strength. God is repositioning you from victim to victor, from oppressed to overcomer. Your story is no longer one of struggle. It's a divine battle plan for triumph. You've endured seasons where the enemy's lies were relentless. You've battled thoughts of defeat, wrestled with temptation, and felt the sting of obstacles that seemed insurmountable. But hear this, that season is over. Satan is not your master. Fear is not your ruler. God has crushed the enemy's authority over your life and issued a divine mandate of victory. When God declares victory, he doesn't weaken it. He enforces it. The curse of defeat is shattered over you and your bloodline. The attacks that marked your past, your family, your history, they end with you. This isn't just about your battles. It's about your legacy. Victory is your birthright. Divine authority is your inheritance. You're not a target of the enemy. You're a warrior in God's army. Strongholds that held you back are crumbling. Doors to triumph are opening by divine power. You're moving from warfare to worship, from attack to authority. Your new normal is victory, God's relentless, unending triumph. What if your life became a living testimony of God's victory? Get ready, because your story is about to proclaim His power. Divine triumphs are being released over you. Breakthroughs you didn't expect, strength you didn't earn, courage that defies the enemy's lies. Not because you fought harder, but because Jesus won it all. Your faith has opened a portal. Heaven is arming you with authority. Your life will no longer be defined by attacks. It will radiate with victory. Your triumphs aren't just personal. They're a weapon for God's kingdom. Your testimony will preach louder than words, declaring, "This is what happens when God defeats the enemy." Prepare for moments that don't make sense, doors opening despite opposition, peace prevailing in chaos, strength rising in weakness. God is saying, "I see you. I empower you. I lead you to victory." This isn't just survival. It's conquest. Every attack that wounded you, every lie that bound you, every scheme that delayed you, God is overturning it with power. He's not just stopping the enemy. He's using His plans to propel you forward. The devil's schemes are flipping into divine victories. Your fears are becoming faith. Your battles are becoming breakthroughs. And your struggles are setting you up for a victorious comeback. For too long, you've been under attack, silenced by lies, weighed down by fear, overlooked in your fight. You've prayed in secret, stood firm while your heart trembled, wondered if God's power could overcome the enemy's plans. God says your season of oppression is over. He's pulling you from the enemy's shadows into the light of His victory, not for glory, but for battle. He trained you in the fire to prepare you, to strengthen your faith so your triumph would last. Every prayer you prayed in the fight is rising as a shout of victory. You're not just surviving, you're conquering. The enemy's lies aren't just fading, they're fleeing. Your name is being declared in heavens you haven't seen. Victories are forming, breakthroughs are aligning, and divine power is flowing. This isn't just relief, it's divine authority. The world will see your triumph as a testimony to the God who fights for His chosen. You're going from targeted to triumphant, from attacked to anointed. The battlefield is your stage, and heaven is your shield. Put on the full armor of God so that you can take your stand against the devil's schemes. For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms. Ephesians chapter 6, verses 11 and 12. This verse seals the truth of your victory. God equips you with His armor to stand against the enemy's schemes, fighting not with human strength, but with divine power. Put on His armor and watch the devil's plans crumble before you. This covenant of victory isn't just about overcoming, it's about reigning. God isn't just stopping the enemy, He's raising you to rule. Triumph is your promise. Legacy is your portion. You've fought long enough. Watch the enemy try to steal your peace while you clung to faith. God is rewriting your story. Your name is being etched on victories, breakthroughs, and divine callings. Battle miracles are coming. Triumph is part of your covenant. You're not just escaping attacks. You're stepping into a new dimension of authority. Your children's children will inherit the victories you're claiming now. This isn't just about you. It's about your bloodline. God didn't bring you this far to fall. He brought you to conquer. Power, courage, and limitless triumph are yours. Claim them now. You're not fighting this battle alone. Heaven has assigned supernatural forces to your victory. Angels are dismantling strongholds, silencing lies, and clearing paths to triumph. These aren't ordinary moments. They're divine conquests. Expect unusual strength, courage that defies fear, moments where you feel, I don't know why, but I'm unstoppable. That's not chance. It's divine empowerment. Your faith, your heart, your purpose, they're backed by heavenly armies. You're not alone in your battles or your victories. God has sent reinforcements. Your prayers, once heavy with fear, are now roaring with authority. The enemy's plans you thought were unbeatable, God says they're already defeated. You're not meant to cower. You're meant to conquer. Heaven has approved your victory with unlimited power. Courage is rising, strongholds are falling, and miracles of triumph are manifesting. You're not fleeing the enemy. The enemy is fleeing you. Gone are the days of trembling under attack. God's power doesn't demand fear. It delivers victory. You're entering a season where your faith carries supernatural authority. What the enemy built over years will crumble in moments with God's strength. What felt like defeat will now feel like dominion. You're shifting from surviving to conquering, from fear to faith. People will marvel at how fast it happened, how your life radiated with triumph. But you'll know the truth. God did it. Your faith opened the door. Heaven released the victory. You're on heaven's battle list now, and God doesn't fight in weakness. Your name is at the top of his divine roster. Every time you stood despite fear, every moment you prayed through attacks, God recorded it. He's sending triumph, not just to end your battles, but to multiply your impact. You'll break strongholds, sow victory into others, and shine as a warrior of God's kingdom. You're not waiting for victory. You are the victory God sends. Those lies you believed, those fears that gripped you, those attacks that surrounded you, they weren't your destiny. They were your training ground. God was saying, not that battle. I've won it. Every attack was leading you to his power. The schemes you feared were too small for his strength. The enemies who opposed you couldn't withstand his might. Now brace for the triumph that buries every lie. Divine victories are coming, breakthroughs that defy reason, courage you didn't earn, power you didn't expect, not by your strength, but by God's authority. You're entering a life custom built for his glory. The fight wasn't wasted. It was sacred. God was arming you for this moment. Fear used to feel like your home. Doubt was your script, and attacks were your reality. That contract is void. Heaven has torn it up. You're no longer chained to the enemy's lies. You're released into God's truth. Your identity isn't defeat. It's dominion. You're not a victim. You're a victor in Christ. Your life is becoming a fire of faith, a flood of victory on barren ground. You've prayed through seasons of attack, oppressed, overwhelmed, outmatched, but God was there, forging you in secret for a glorious unveiling. Your fear is done. Your victory is here. Your testimonies aren't distant. They're your daily truth. People will ask, how did you overcome? You'll say, God defeated the enemy. Don't be shocked when strongholds fall, when fears flee without effort, when lives are changed by your testimony. God is amplifying your story for impact, not pride. This is your victory season. Every prayer, every stand of faith, God saw it. Resisting didn't weaken you. It empowered you. You're in a cycle of endless triumph. Every cry for help, every moment of defiance, God's returning it with power. You'll conquer where you stood, even where others doubted. The world preaches defeat. Heaven delivers victory. What you faced wasn't lost, it was redeemed. Now, courage, breakthroughs, and divine authority flow. Keep standing. The more you fight, the more God strengthens. This season carries divine power. You're not just praying. You're proclaiming. Heaven's downloading strategies, authority, world-shaking victories. You'll wake with courage, dream of triumph, see clarity that crushes strongholds. God's not just giving victory, He's giving dominion. Your battles will matter. Your triumphs will save souls. You're not faltering, you're fighting. Shift from fear to faith. The kingdom needs warriors with purpose, and you're equipped to lead. Everything's aligning now. You've prayed, fasted, fought through attacks. But the victory isn't external. It's rising within you. God's shifting your heart from fear to fire. You carry power, light, authority. The battle wasn't defeat. It was training. Every attack sharpened your faith. Every lie honed your truth. You're not waiting for victory. You're the victory others see. The enemy fought you because he saw this coming. Too late, you're armed. Drop, I'm under attack. Declare, I am the victor. Strongholds fall when you speak. Chains break when you walk. You're heaven's warrior on earth. You didn't lose your fight. Every battle was a lesson. God trained you in darkness, not to punish, but to prepare. While you fought, He built your strength. While lies surrounded you, He honed your faith. While others fled, He rooted your heart. Now you're ready to carry this victory's weight. You're not chasing survival, you're walking in triumph. Your next step's not ordinary, it's prophetic. This isn't escape, it's divine conquest. Right now, I invite you to seal this covenant. If this word stirs your spirit, take 3 urgent actions today. First, hit the like button to declare your faith in God's victory. Second, subscribe to lock in your commitment to this journey. Third, drop the number 55 in the comments, a sacred signal to heaven that you're saying yes to God's power. God is watching. Your triumph is here. Will you stand? Will you conquer? Let's defeat the enemy's plans together. Your victory begins now.